Yeah, you're right. You're right. But I'm just saying, Charlo, if you don't want to fight his IBF mandatory, all you have to do is, unification over trumps all that stuff. It over trumps Crawford trying to move up to fight Tszyu, right? So if Charlo want to do, he should fight Tszyu. Now, this is the problem. When we saw Charlo in the ring after that sour performance with Canelo, he said he wants big fights. So I don't think he's very interested in fighting Tszyu, but I think that's an opportunity for him to be two-time undisputed again in the same weight division. I mean, hey, he could do it again. There's history to be made. So I don't see no reason why he should not fight Tszyu. But for some odd reason, if he decides not to fight him, like I said, that unification over trumps, undisputed over trumps everything, man. It just over trumps the IBF mandatory, over trumps Crawford moving up a division with the WBO. It over trumps all that, but it's all about what Charlo's going to do. What does Charlo want? What do he wants to do? Do he want to lay back? Do he look at his IBF mandatory and say, you know what, I have an opportunity here. I'll use this to waste time to see what goes on with Tszyu, to see if Crawford will go up and fight him. Yeah, there's a lot of things that's going on. He got to weigh out his options if he's going to do his IBF mandatory. Because if you're not going to do your IBF mandatory, the only way you could get out of that without being stripped, I mean, if you get stripped, you get stripped. You get stripped from your IBF. You got stripped from your WBO. So you got 2 more belts left. So if that's the road you want to go and choose, fine. You just choose it that way. But it just makes total sense. What's the weigh-in for you? The weigh-in is this, that you could be 2-time undisputed, right? At 154. Again. Right? Make history, be another man to be 2-time undisputed. And if you don't take the challenge, it's surely not going to look right. It's surely not going to look right. You want big fights, but are you going to lay back and watch Crawford move up to fight Tszyu if you don't fight Tszyu? Is that what you want? Which can happen. And like I said, people are saying that this man Crawford is holding up the division. Unit 47, what is he going to do? Well, we can't tell you what he's going to do until he fights. Until we find out what's going to happen with this fight with Errol Spence. Errol Spence, in the contract, says, I have an opportunity to fight for those belts again. So I don't understand how people are saying, oh, he's not giving Boots a chance. Crawford's not giving Boots. What chances did that Boots have? Boots had his opportunities. And he still has an opportunity, yes. But until we know what Spence want to do, what's taking so damn long to make this fight, because the business does not want to make this fight. They don't think they're going to get anything, nothing on their return on this fight. But it's not what the business want. It's what is in the contract. And the contract says you got to withhold this rematch. And the only person that can decide that they don't want this rematch no more is Errol Spence. So talk to your man Errol Spence, what he wants to do. He wants strap season at 147 because in the contract, that is there. So no way Boots going to fight Crawford right now. That's no one's holding up the division. You know what's holding up the division? The contract. Not Crawford. The contract is holding up the division. Let's just see what's going on. See, this is taking too damn long, just like the first fight is. Everything that comes down with Errol Spence and whatever's going on is taking too damn long. So I'm not worried about it, and Crawford's not worried about it. Now, at the end of the day, would I like to see Tszyu versus Crawford? Yeah. Will Tszyu get anything out of fighting Crawford? I hear people saying, oh, he's not going to get anything out of it. Just how Crawford be saying he's not going to get anything out of fighting Boots Ennis. Well, you know, there's a lot more to get out, right? Tszyu could get out, right? Because, like I said, what you could get out of Crawford, Tszyu fighting Crawford, is that he is a 2-time undisputed, 3-time millennial, 0 losses, 40 wins, go on, okay? And it's a payday. You know what I like to say, payday. You want a payday. So there is benefits from Tim Tszyu fighting Crawford. And there's benefits for Crawford fighting Tim Tszyu. Being a 4-time division champion now at 154, if he does that, that's a lot. That's a lot between these two. And Charlo with Tim Tszyu being undisputed twice, beating a good man such as Tim Tszyu, having his name on your resume. Same thing with Tim Tszyu having Crawford on his resume. So these three have benefits. But it's, right now, I'm thinking what Charlo said in the ring about he's not that interested in fighting Tim Tszyu or Mendoza, right? When that fight, before the fight happened. So I'm thinking maybe he's going to lay back. But how long can you lay back? Or you might see loopholes and stuff in your IBF mandatory and decide to keep busy, which I might advise you to keep busy and fight your mandatory. Fight your mandatory, and now it's about the time game. It's a chess game with the time. If you can fight your mandatory, then you can see the next step. If Errol and Crawford is going to fight in February, January, March, April, I don't know, man. All right, but everything is hold up when it comes to Boots moving on, okay? Because if Crawford and Errol fights at 154, I'm going to show you that Crawford's not going to hold those belts like how Canelo went up and hold the belts at 168 and move up to 175. Believe me, they won't even allow him to do that, right? So most of the time, he's going to drop all the belts, or he's going to keep one of those belts. He has an option, right? But he would not hold up the belts, right? He's not going to hold up the belts. If he could keep his WBO, fine. But he will be fighting at 154, Errol Spence. He's up there already. But if he could keep one of his belts, I mean, Charlo, he kept most of his belts. Now he's getting pressure. He's getting heat on himself because he got a drop. He got the WBO, automatically went to Tim Tszyu, and he just defended his belt with Mendoza because it was emailed to him, and actually he officially have the belt, and he defended it with Mendoza. So I don't know if they count it as a defense, but if you actually gave this man the belt, then he just defended it, right? So that's what I'm saying when it comes down to these Charlo and Crawford and Tim Tszyu. I knew Tim Tszyu was going to win. My last thumbnail has Tim Tszyu on there. It didn't have Tim Tszyu and the winner of Mendoza. I just knew by the fighting styles that Tim Tszyu is more poised, more patient, more relaxed, and he was going to get Mendoza out of there. Yeah, he was going to get Mendoza out of there. So, and Mendoza, his stock went up. He didn't drop. Bodies didn't hit the floor at all. You know, a lot of people thought some bodies was going to hit the floor in that ring, but it didn't. So his stock went up. And that's what you do when you fight. And you fight to the end. And to me, Charlo, even though he went up to 2 divisions to fight Canelo, I think his stock went down because he didn't even try. So when I see Tim Tszyu versus Charlo, I will give Tim Tszyu the benefit of beating Charlo. Yeah, I'll give Tim Tszyu the benefit of beating Charlo. Now, do Charlo want to put himself in that predicament after watching that fight with Mendoza that Tim Tszyu just had? So we have to find out if Charlo decides to fight his IBF mandatory and use that time to waste, right? So he could find out what he's going to do and find out what Crawford's going to do, if he's going to move up, or is he going to find out if he's going to fight Errol. So hopefully, I hope, this is what I want. I want Crawford to fight Errol again. Just get this out of the way. Get this out of your way. No more clones, no more rib damage, no more. It's so funny, right? Oh, he didn't perform properly because he had rib damage, you know. But when people try to hear that about Pacquiao's shoulder, oh no, we ain't trying to hear that. I'm talking to y'all niggas, man. That we don't want to hear about that shoulder injury. Let him go in the ocean and get the power of blood from. You know, I'm just saying, I don't want to hear no excuses. If Errol ain't making no excuses, I don't want to hear about no channel, punk bitch ass channel talking about, yeah, I know I know he had a rib injury and that's why he didn't perform the way he is. Oh, he's weight drained. Crawford said that a long time ago. Oh, y'all gonna be saying he's weight drained by the time I fight him. Everything is predicted. So y'all niggas selling some diva chump ass niggas, yo. So I don't want to hear that from those channels. Anybody hearing that from those channels, y'all wasting your time, bro. Y'all just want an excuse for this man. And the man, Errol, ain't making no excuses. So stop making excuses for this man. So I want to see this fight at 154. 2 reasons. I want to see Crawford bust down Errol Spence again. And I want to see Crawford at 154, how his power in the blood is going to be, right? And him getting accoladed. And then from there, hopefully he could keep some of his belts, right? Or, you know, he might have to drop some of his belts, but the most important belt that I think he should be able to keep is the WBO belt at 147. So now if he loses all the rest of the belts or whatever, or Boots decides to just be an email champion, you know, because the belt, one of the belts are dropping, it's for him. It's so be it. It is what it is. A lot of people don't want to fight Boots. So once he's a champion, somebody got to see him. Somebody got to see him. And he got to defend it. So that would square that off, where people don't want to fight this man. But if he gets it, sometimes it's bad to be an email champion. Sometimes it's good. It benefits you, especially if no one wants to fight you. All right? So now somebody have to come and see you. Okay, you can avoid ducking me when I ain't got nothing. But when I got something, now what's your whole reasons of going up to win? Because you want something and already got it already. So yeah, there's some benefits of being an email champion when I think you deserve it. There's some people don't want to fight you at all, and everybody's been ducking you. And there's some benefits that's not beneficial for you just being an email champion. Yeah. So when it comes to Crawford, I want to fight him. I want to have to see this fight. I want the contract. I don't want the contract. I want to see what's going on in this contract, and I hope it's at 154, not 147. But if Errol decides he wants it at 147, so be it, right? But I really want this fight at 154. Dust this nigga off your shoulders, Errol Spence. Get your payday, whatever. Get your money. Now you have a decision to move up to 154. Now we can find out what's going on. Did Charlo fight his IBF? Did Charlo decide to be undisputed and unify with Tszyu? If so, you just wait for the winner. And if it's Charlo been opening his mouth about you, well then you got that fight, Charlo versus Crawford, right? And that's what Charlo wanted. He wants big fights, so I'm pretty sure he wants that. But if this man don't want to fight, if this man don't want to fight his mandatory Charlo, and he don't want to fight Tszyu, and I see some funny business like that, yo, it is what it is. Crawford has every right to move up with that 147 belt if you don't get that fight with Errol, and just go for Tszyu. It is what it is. Listen, I'm not here to change your mind. I'm here for you to read between the lines. It's not what they say. It's what they're not saying. And yeah, I'm out, yo. Share, like, and subscribe. I remember this time. I'm on my meds. All right, I'm out.